Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a sled dog racer? Today on Rat and Cat, we're going to talk with some up at Priest Lake, Idaho. Welcome to Rat and Cat, where we search, survive, and explore. Today we're headed up to Priest Lake, Idaho to the dog sled races. Afterwards, I'm going to share a link with you from a video I shot at the races that happened a few weeks ago. There's this crazy story about a moose attack at the dog sled races, or a dog sled race, that Jed is going to tell you about. He's one of the people you'll meet in this video. He's wearing a green jacket. Anyhow, let's head out.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
My name's Dan Hanks, and we're here doing at Priest Lake Sled Dog Race 2019, and I do ski joring and I do sled dog racing. And I've been in the sport off and on for about 20 years, but trying to be more competitive for about the last 5 years. And so today we're doing a combination of, I'm doing a 4-dog sled dog race and I'm doing a 2-dog ski jor race. And today's event up at Priest Lake has kind of a variety of different distances between about 4.7 miles and about 20 miles. And lots of times when people think of sled dog racing in the United States, they think of like the Iditarod, right? Like they're like 1,000 miles, like you go 1,000 miles, are you training for the Iditarod? And we have like dogs that are really made to do like short distances really fast. And so my dogs average almost 20 miles an hour depending on the snow conditions. And they're really specialty bred to just go really fast, short amount of time. We do tons of training and tons of development with the dogs to try to, create, we come to a race like this, it's really great, but having just a good experience, a lot of positive interactions with the dog.
What's your role in this organization?
So, Priest Lake Sled Dog Race is ran by Inland Empire Sled Dog Club. And this race was started 50 years ago, 1969. And the organization runs the event, and I'm the race marshal for Priest Lake Sled Dog Race. So it's my job to interpret the rules, help make sure all the teams know the rules, and if there's any kind of problem or dispute, to try to come up with a good solution for everybody.
Are you local? How many people here are local?
So I'm from Coeur d'Alene, and our club, everyone is from either the Priest Lake, Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area. Most of the racers here are not from the area. So we have a handful of racers from Oregon, we have some that came over from Montana, we have some from kind of the Snoqualmie, Cle Elum, Seattle area. But I was trying to think, I don't know if anyone else is from North Idaho that's racing today.
Yeah. What do you like about this? Why'd you do it?
So what I really like about the sport is I love dogs, and I like spending a lot of time with dogs, and I like training dogs, and I like being a competitive athlete. And this is just like a perfect combination of getting to spend a lot of time with dogs and get to do something fun and competitive together. What makes me fall in love with the sport is, if you've ever played team sports, the feeling where you're like working together is strong when you're doing team sports. When you're doing it with a dog, you think of how much like you love and care about your dog and how close they are to you, and then you're working as a team with your dog. It's like all your best friends like working really hard together. It's really amazing. I tell people who have done it, everybody out here, they get it, but like until you've done it and you're like, okay, you compete with your dog as hard as you possibly can, like feels amazing. Mm-hmm. And it makes you work like you've never worked before, because like let's say you're playing basketball and you're playing with your team, like you care about your teammates. It's like your dog, like you gotta work really hard for your dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so you're just sitting behind a sled, you know, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, some people think it's like, you know, you're just gonna like sit on the sled, but for myself, I never stop kicking. If there's a hill, I run, I'm pushing, I just come back exhausted. And when we do ski jor, I'm not just standing there, it's a it's on cross-country skis, and you're skiing, and you're basically trying to put in as much effort as you possibly can to help your dog. What I'm trying to go for is not just for the dog to be pulling really hard, but to be able to run really fast. So I'm trying to put in as much energy help to keep our speed up, so the dogs aren't pulling hard, but just really just getting to run fast together. Yeah. So, you know, I think the best way for people to get started is coming to events like the race, asking lots of questions. It's really nice to get started if you can talk to a musher. So for example, Inland Empire Sled Dog Club, we have a club page, and we lots of times get people who come to the club page and they say, hey, I'm interested in getting started, you know, where would I go? We run clinics that are ski jor clinics up on Mount Spokane. We've done other clinics in like the Farragut area, and so teaching people how to like work with their dog. And what you usually get is kind of like how I got started. I had a border collie, and I just wanted to ski with my dog, so I trained him how to do that. So all the times you get people with like labs and all sorts of dogs, and if you've ever walked a dog on a leash and he's tried to pull you, like, which is like every dog, like that's a good dog for the sport. And you can teach somebody to run behind that dog, you can ski behind that dog, and then if you get into it, maybe you add a few more dogs, and that's what happens to a lot of us, is then we like are running more dogs, which is really fun. Everyone has different kinds of sleds, and a lot of people are running sleds that are pretty high tech, made out of everything from carbon fiber to aluminum. I'm running an older wooden sled. It's from a sled builder in the Montana area, and I kind of reworked it and kind of tweaked it a little bit. Mine's a wooden sled, but what's really cool is my sled's designed that I can slide off runners and put on other runners that are better for different snow conditions. So I've got really fast runners for warm snow, or really fast for when it's really cold, and so we're changing out our runners. Mine's a pretty small, light sled. It weighs about 25, 30 pounds. Some of these weigh as little as 15 pounds. And then for some of the longer classes, people have bigger sleds, more space, so they could go camping, carry more gear, and those sleds might even weigh as much as 50 or 60 pounds. One minute, guys. One more dog pulling us around.
30 seconds.
3, and
15 seconds.
seconds.
10.
Ready, Lacey?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go, let's go!
I was like,
Grab them by their harness. Yeah.
He won.
He won
He won.
by,
Records.
yeah, he won by a minute 20.
Part of the support team today, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are you helping? What were you doing?
We are helping Brandy Williamson. And she's number 9. She's doing the 4 dog race.
Yeah, and her team is by dog Siberians. She runs Sibis. So
Yeah. And we hope she's gonna get at least second place once she get back.
Second place, nice.
Yes. Or first.
That'd be great.
no, first I doubt it.
So, where did she drive from? Where do you guys come from?
The Bitterroot Valley in Montana.
Yeah. We are from Hamilton. We work down there, and we live all there. So that's where we know Brandy.
This is a long trip over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took us 7 hours. And probably it's gonna take even more since it's snowing and stuff. Going back.
To
Yeah.
come back.
How long have you guys been helping her out? How much do you help her out?
Oh, since last year, she took us out with the dogs. So we had 10 dogs, and she gave us an experience of dog sledding. So since there, we always follow her around, and it's fun.
Nice. Nice. What do you like about it?
It's the excitement. It's like the dog gets very excited.
Before they start.
They are very nice.
Yeah.
It's like you can feel they are quiet all night, and in the morning they know they are gonna run. So it's like, and once they start, everything calms down, and they go.
Come by, Mountie, come by! You want me to get the other boys out?
Oh, nice, good timing. Good. Ah, good boy.
Oh, good boy, Sled. Good boy. Good boy.
It was good.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was good.
Nice.
You want to take him back?
Yes, why not? You think?
I'm guessing we solidified second place. We went out in second place, and I think the teams behind us didn't catch us, so we probably finished second. I'm hoping we caught some seconds on the first place team. That was our goal for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How'd you get into dog sled racing?
When I met my husband, he had 3 huskies, and then we moved down to the Bitterroot Valley where we live in Montana, and met another musher, and she loaned me a lead dog to go with my 3 and a sled, and I went out and came back and was like, that's we're doing this. So now they're like potato chips, Siberian Huskies. We just kept getting more, and so now we're down from we used to have 12, so now we're down to 9 dogs, but we still have a lot of fun with them. Yeah.
Do you have recommendations for anybody that's interested in the sport?
Yeah. This club puts on a lot of good races. A good way to get into it is in the dryland events. So you can have just 1, 2 dogs, hook them up to a bike, or even just yourself and run with them, and then you can build into it and start to understand it. it's time consuming. It's not like a snowmobile. You don't just put it away in the wintertime and, you know, you have your dogs all year to love, but also to take care of. And so that's a consideration as you get, the kennel gets bigger, there's just other things to adjust to. So it's good to start small and just understand if that's what you want to do.
Good girl.
Jed Stevenson cut off 6 minutes off of his time from yesterday.
Wow.
Yes, yeah.
Well, we came in last yesterday, and today we passed 2 people.
Well, that's good. You had something wrong go wrong yesterday?
Oh yeah. My lead dog wasn't all that interested. They went out the chute incorrectly. They came back and didn't want to go through the chute. So
Oh man.
they got all tangled up right where everyone was clapping, all, you know, trying to be enthusiastic for us, but it was like totally not what we needed. I needed a quiet environment because they're not used to humans. They're just used to me. I guess I am a human, but yeah, so they did a lot better this time. Oh boy, they're just 11 months old.
11 months?
Yep. 8. And she's run the Yukon Quest 3 times. She's a 1,000-mile race up in Canada and Alaska. Yeah, she knows what it's all about.
Which race was it?
The Yukon Quest.
Yukon Quest?
It's as long as Iditarod. It's considered tougher than Iditarod. It's ran a month earlier, so it's a lot colder, and it's ran in the interior Alaska, which is crazy cold. So she's used to running at like 40 below. So yeah, she's got a little better coat. She's still Alaskan, so she doesn't have as good a coat as the Siberians. But for an Alaskan, she's got a good coat. A lot of Alaskans don't have very good coats. So. Yeah, I went up to Alaska this summer and got this black female, and she's half Inuit and half Alaskan. And Inuit is kind of it's in between the size of a Malamute and a Siberian. So they're about 70 pounds. They're pretty big dogs. And so they cross them with Alaskans, and they got really tough feet. Don't ever have to booty them. They've got really good appetites. Even though she was really stressed out from all this because this was her first race, she still ate all her food. All the other dogs didn't. They too much anxiety. So when you're long distance running, eating is a big thing, because if they don't eat, they're going to drop weight, and then you have to drop them. So I kind of like having the half Inuit in them, because then they're not as fast, but they're more hardy, because they eat and they got a good coat, they got good feet.
Cool.
When it turned winter, she actually gained weight, which is All the others lost weight, but something about her genetics that she fattened up. Which is weird. I only throw just a couple morsels at her and she gets fat, which is all those genetics. He's 11 months old. He ran in lead, which is really awesome for a dog that's not even a year old. So the half Alaskan that she's from ran the Yukon Quest, the 1,000-mile race, and it was the male that bred the Alaskan bred to the female Inuit, and that dog on the Yukon Quest actually gained weight throughout the race, which is ridiculous because you're running like 120 miles a day. You're at 40 below, so it's really hard to maintain weight at those kind of temps, and that dog actually gained weight. So it's all hardy genetics. They're not fast, not like these pointers. Some of these pointers over here are just like lightning fast, but that's sprinting. I'm not really into sprinting. Who runs he's ran Iditarod like, I think he's probably up to 30 times now.
What's the longest race you've done?
Oh, I've only done like a 50 miler. I'm aiming for a 200 next year. 200 and a 300. I'd like to go up to the Hudson Bay. They've got a race in March. Same time Iditarod's run, and 200 miler there that I think would be really cool. It's crazy windy. There's it's like the biggest concentration of polar bears in Churchill, Canada. And so if you want to qualify for Iditarod, you want to do really tough mid-distance races, like 200-300 mile races. And here in the lower 48, I think what a lot of people consider the Eagle Cap Extreme, which is in Oregon, they consider that one the toughest because you're just going up mountains, down mountains, up mountains, down mountains. But being exposed to wind is really important because you gotta see how the dogs handle in wind, because it's a whole different element. And so the Hudson Bay is just known for being crazy windy and crazy cold.
It went pretty good. I haven't seen the final result, but I think we stayed in first place in four dog. And I think we'll finish up in second place in our ski tour event. It was fast, it was fun, dogs had a really good run. Everybody's gonna sleep really good tonight. Everybody's nice and tired. I'm gonna sleep really good tonight. I'm nice and tired. It was good. It was a fun day. Yeah.
Silly. Woof, woof.
I hope you enjoyed going to the dog sled races as much as I did. I always enjoy meeting new people who like the outdoors just as much as I do. Well, here's that link to that crazy moose attack story I was telling you about. Jeb, the guy in the green jacket in this video you just saw, is the one who told me about it. He came across it in a race he was in. It's a VR video, so you can look in any direction you want with your phone, point your phone or swipe around, or use your mouse to look anywhere you want, or use your VR goggles. Anyhow, it's kind of fun. So until next time, this is Rat and Cat. Please like, subscribe, share, and support me on Patreon. We'll see you next time.